This is Plant-Based Briefing, How Deforestation for Animal Agriculture Threatens Our Forests by ProVeg International at proveg.com. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson, and this is the curated content plant-based podcast, where I narrate a variety of articles on plant-based, eco-friendly, and compassionate living with permission in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. Today's article is from ProVeg International. They're a food awareness organization striving for a world where everyone chooses delicious and healthy food that's good for all humans, animals, and the planet. Their mission is to reduce the global consumption of animals by 50% by the year 2040. They work with international decision-making bodies, governments, food producers, investors, and the media, and the general public to help the world transition to a society and economy that are less dependent on animal agriculture and more sustainable for humans, animals, and the planet. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. How Deforestation for Animal Agriculture Threatens Our Forests by ProVeg International at proveg.com. We couldn't live without forests. Covering 1/3 of the Earth's landmass, they're vital to sustaining life on our planet and slowing down climate change. Forests are key to climate, water, health, and livelihoods, yet we're losing them at an alarming rate due to deforestation, the mass destruction of trees. One of the leading causes of deforestation globally is animal agriculture, which is why a plant-based diet can help. Today, nearly 70% of cleared lands in the Amazon, the largest remaining tropical rainforest in the world, are used as cattle pastures. Vast swaths of forest, grasslands, and wetlands are cleared to provide land for grazing and growing animal feed crops. We can help protect forests by choosing more sustainable eating habits and switching to a plant-based diet. Here, we take a look at how forests are threatened by deforestation for animal agriculture and the steps we can take. 3 key benefits of forests threatened by deforestation for animal agriculture. Number 1. Forest biodiversity helps ecosystems thrive. Forests cover around 1/3 of the Earth's landmass and are the most biologically diverse ecosystems on land, home to over 80% of animals, plants, and insects. Each plant or animal species, no matter how small, has an important role to play, and maintaining biodiversity boosts ecosystem productivity. For example, a large number of plant species enables a greater range of crops, which helps to ensure food security. Habitat loss due to deforestation poses a huge threat to biodiversity, which supports human life to the extent that it affects the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat. Continued deforestation in the Amazon will lead to the ecosystems we need to survive being no longer supported. A plant-based diet is better for the planet. Reducing animal products has numerous positive effects, including preservation of biodiversity, more sustainable use of resources, and combating climate change. Number 2. Forests regulate carbon in our atmosphere. Forests are critical to regulating the world's climate and weather cycles. The Amazon rainforest is often referred to as the lungs of the Earth, because its forests release oxygen and store carbon dioxide, a major cause of global warming. Forests are crucial to addressing the climate crisis as they absorb over 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide every year, which is 1/3 of the CO2 released from burning fossil fuels. When deforestation for animal agriculture occurs, this carbon is re-emitted into the atmosphere, contributing significantly to global warming and preventing us from reaching the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement. Number 3. Forests preserve land quality and support indigenous populations. Pasture expansion to meet the demand for beef, as well as for the production of animal feed crops such as soy and corn, are the main drivers of deforestation in the Amazon. This puts fertile topsoils, which are rich in organic matter, at risk of erosion. These priceless natural resources can't be restored within our lifetime. Agricultural machinery, overfertilization, toxins, and monocultures deplete and loosen the soil, which is then carried away by wind and rain. Poor soil leads to weak harvests, which in turn requires more farmland to compensate, leading to more deforestation. Deforesting land for animal agriculture also threatens the rights of indigenous peoples, as the land often overlaps with indigenous territories. Over 2,000 indigenous cultures are dependent on forests for their livelihoods, medicines, food, and shelter. The protection of indigenous rights is recognized as one of the best ways to protect forests and thus lower carbon emissions. Can a plant-based diet help reduce deforestation? Our daily diet choices can have an impact on the survival of the planet's forests. A number of studies show that choosing a plant-based diet can help to decrease land requirements, while a 2017 study revealed that up to 55% of deforestation can be reduced by decreasing the consumption of animal products, as less land is needed for animal agriculture. As well as eating a more plant-based diet, we can spread awareness of the climate impact of our food choices. The topic of deforestation is beginning to gain traction globally, and ProVeg continually advocates for an urgent switch to a plant-based diet and more sustainable food system. Switching to a plant-based diet has never been easier and has so many positive effects, including preservation of biodiversity, more sustainable use of resources, and combating climate change. By switching to a more sustainable diet, we can help to preserve the ecological, economic, social, and health benefits of forests. Let us help you go plant-based. Take a look at our wealth of practical resources to see how easy and delicious switching to a plant-based lifestyle can be. You just listened to How Deforestation for Animal Agriculture Threatens Our Forests from ProVeg International at proveg.com. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson, and I love this article because it keeps it short and sweet and explains terms like deforestation and biodiversity and why they're actually an issue and why everybody's talking about them. If you're interested in this topic and environmentalism in general, I highly recommend the documentary Eating Our Way to Extinction. It's narrated by Kate Winslet, and you can find it at eatingtoextinction.com. That's the number 2, eatingtoextinction.com, and I'll put a link in the show notes as well. This is the first documentary where I saw the connection being made with the damage to Indigenous peoples and Indigenous rights. So check that out, and please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.